Still, there are a lot of cultural markers and sometimes myths about countries, which are surprisingly resistant and vivacious in the minds of many. And in our today's video, we invite you to guess some countries of the world according to them. So let's get started. People of our first country avoid touching, which is perceived as a sign of aggressiveness. Handshakes, hugs, claps, and other friendly gestures can be very confusing. But the traditional bow is a universal gesture of etiquette in this country, and there are many kinds of it for any case. Sumo is mistakenly believed to be the official sport of this state, but it is not so. Today the most popular sports here are baseball, swimming, and figure skating. In this country, money is always given with two hands, and if you do not, you can be called rude, careless, and ill-mannered. The same with business cards and gifts. Receiving them, it is important to show respect. In the house, street shoes are definitely put with their noses to the exit, and slippers on the contrary, so that the guest doesn't tilt but put them on along the way. There is a fairly common image of the inhabitants of this country that they work as hard as bees in hive, so they can spend most of their time in the office, but they are also not averse to having fun and rest. Finally, most Europeans consider these nations to be narrow-eyed. In fact, the eyes of many inhabitants of this country are exactly the same as those of Europeans, and sometimes even bigger. Now guess while we are moving on.
You can pause the video if you want more time to guess the country. The right answer is Japan.
To tell you about one region in Russia. According to some people, it's a very big region, and some people say that it's rather small. When people hear about it for the first time, they say, "Oh, I know this place, it's very cold there. There are bears on every street, and its citizens drink only vodka." And some people say, "Oh, what? Can you repeat, please? I understand it's near New Zealand, yes? So other popular opinion is that people who live in this region are angry and they don't smile, then they don't use first names, they don't bow each other, but they shake hands. I can say that such opinions are the result of absence of cultural awareness. People don't want to travel abroad, to visit small cities, to create new culture. So, did you understood what is the name of the region?
The right answer is Siberia.
Let's guess this country by different stereotypes. Many people think that this nation is very punctual. They usually do everything on time and to the place. This applies to meetings, coming to a birthday party, and completing tasks. Everyone thinks that they are greedy and super practical, but they just don't like to waste money. They always look at costs from the rational side. Maybe that's why this myth was created. Everyone who went to this country for a visit thinks that this nation is not very hospitable. Someone came to visit and was not fed, someone was not fed enough, someone was asked to bring a drink with them. This nation is too neat. It's just in the blood and in the character of every person who was born on or has lived there long enough. This is great because order is not only on lawns and flower beds, but also in the public life. Many people think that the language of this nation is very rude and ugly, but this is just prejudice. Also, this nation is very fond of cars and can't imagine their life without them, and it's true. Many people think that the favorite drink of this nation is beer, but in fact it's carbonated water with the addition of fruit juice.
The right answer is Germany.
I think it's no secret that many ideas about other countries are based on stereotypes, and some may even offend the citizens of a particular country. I decided to tell you about the stereotypes of one country, some of which are true and some are false, as before you go abroad it's important to know that. To be fully culturally aware before traveling there, you need to know that people can't communicate without gestures. Thanks to their facial expressions and gestures, they can easily find a common language with any person. Some even joke that if you tie their hands, they will be doomed. Many also believe that in this country absolutely everyone is obsessed with football. Of course, this is the most popular sport and all families will support their favorite team. But many people are indifferent to football. And there is an exception here. If country plays in some very important championship, then almost the entire country will arrange ceremonies and festivals in support of the team. It should be mentioned that when pronouncing the word fashion, the name of this country comes to mind immediately. This is a true stereotype, since the history of fashion is closely linked to the history of this country. And of course it is believed that people there eat only pasta and pizza. The average person eats 26 kilograms of pasta in a year. But of course there are many other dishes. When you come to the restaurant, you can be surprised by the skill of the chefs, the variety and quality of the ingredients. Thus you can make sure that not all the stereotypes are correct, and some are even completely inappropriate. But there is no escaping them, and they will always live in the minds.
The right answer is Italy. Guess the country based on stereotypes and myths. First thing is that this country is very far from Russia. In actuality, this isn't true at all. It's much closer to us than countries like France and Italy. Second stereotype is that everyone in that country is blonde and has blue eyes. This is of course not true. Judging by the official statistics, around 19% of the citizens living in the country were born outside of it, and there are 24% people who were born in the country but their parents were not. Third thing is the thing which I think is going to give the country out pretty hard. Everyone in this country drives on Volvo. This is not true. For example, in 2016, the brand which was the most popular and had the most sales were Volkswagen. And out on the roads you can see great range of car brands, even old Soviet ones. Fourth and final thing, that all of the sport in this country is just hockey. This is simply not true. For example, this country regularly wins gold medals in competitions around the world in tennis, curling and skiing. The right answer is Sweden. Thank you for watching this video. How many countries did you guess? Write them down in the comment section below.